Welcome back, everybody, to the Nexus Gaming Series. We're in the second half of the finals, I guess. That we had the first half of the semifinals. Taco just finished casting the other half of the semifinals. Thank you for bringing everybody over here, Taco. And, of course, now we're going to the finals. It's going to be ReGen, who we just saw take a 2-0 victory over We Are Farmers, versus Error 404. And I am going to mess that up. I'm going to mess it up. I mean, Error and Arrow are so close. It's inevitable. It's more inevitable than Thanos, and we saw how that turned out. So, yeah, Error 404, and they just had a really thrilling series against Can't Censor Ship. Another name that is very easy to mess up. So, there you go. Let me fix my chat over here so that I can catch that. Now, I did start this a little bit earlier than I normally would be prepared for, so I quite literally just got the map band, so we'll kind of go through those together, shall we? Our maps here, let me actually go to the maps page and I'll fill this in as we go. So there's your Storm Division Qualifier map pool. Each team gets 2 map bands. The bands for ReGen is going to be Alterac, no Alterac Pass, and Brax's Holdout. I believe those are the same maps that they just banned out just a few moments ago. And then we've got Error 404 banning Garden of Terror and Sky Temple. And it looks like Dragonshire is going to be our first map of the game. Can't censor. Exactly, you can't. Let's see. Take first pick. So map pick is for ReGen. All right, so we should be all good there. I'll need to fill in all of the players when they get here as well. It looks like we've got that. All right, so you know what? Let's take a look at the standings. How did we get to where we are right this moment? ReGen taking a 2-0 victory over Vendetta. That was yesterday. They also then defeated We Are Farmers here just a few minutes ago to find themselves in the finals. Error 404 defeated Storm Academy 2-0. And then just a few minutes ago, finished up against Can't Censor Ship in a 2-1 set. CCS, the only team that had any three game sets in the first round there. And of course, all the way, I shouldn't say 3 game sets, fully played 3 games all the way to the finish there. Same thing in the quarterfinals, semifinals. Quarterfinals was the first round. All right, let me put in these names real quick. It looks like they might just be about ready to go. So let me get these in real quick. Oh yeah, they're ready to go. Holy smokes, they are hot to trot, and I'm okay with that. Let's get this going. So on to our draft. Welcome. Game number 1 of the finals of Storm Division qualification here. Again, the winner of this gets to participate. That's it. They get to be part of the Storm Division, the top tier of the Nexus Gaming Series Amateur League, and the not winner gets to try again. I think this is the third qualifier, if I'm not mistaken. Everyone waiting for the slip up. Yeah, it'll be there, I assure you. I think I actually did it when we were Taco, you wouldn't have known this, but I put up your stream and then I was just kind of talking over it while we were waiting, and I'm pretty sure that during that time I made that mistake then. So there you go. Let's see, let me write down what we had last game real quick so that I have that. Zeratul. So Zeratul has been banned out against ReGen. Yeah, both of their games, of course, possibly yesterday as well. And I'm not really surprised about that. They've got a really good Zeratul player from what I recall. Yeah, it depends. It's kind of a pain to flip everything back and forth, so I just stick with it. I do like the extra vision that it gives for the overall map visibility. But there goes Zagara. So yeah, Shy, sorry, still no Zagara. Not happening this game. Maybe not happening tonight. And Cassia. All right, so Blaze. Been seeing a lot of Blaze, so not a big surprise to see him, especially in an early pick here. And Dahaka. So Dahaka was taken in both of the games against ReGen, so this is the first opportunity. But we also saw that in the last game that Error 404 had against CCS. So Dahaka going up the ranks. I mean, Key, you were asking earlier, is Dahaka that strong? Certainly some players seem to think so. Brightwing also in the last game against Error 404 there when they were playing against the Mal'Ganis. I only kind of half cast it. I didn't really. I was mostly just kind of throwing stuff over. Of course, because of the widescreen, it didn't quite fit, so it looked a little funny. But we're going to see Vala. So Vala Stukov. Stukov was instrumental in the victory that we saw earlier there with ReGen over We Are Farmers. Hogger going to get banned out here. I need to write these down. So Junkrat banned out earlier on Dragonshire, I think is absolutely like critical. I think that's huge. He just gets so much value, has so much zoning potential with his roots, the poke potential. He's just so good on this map, I think. So getting rid of him is really solid. Zeratul, we've got Malthael and the Anubarak. And I'm not surprised, even though they were playing against another team. Anubarak was played in both of the last two games by ReGen. So they could have had somebody watching and said, hey, by the way, they're playing this, so there you go. Falstad and Johanna. So all of the globals over here on the side of ReGen. And then also Johanna. And our final picks here, Tyrande, Yrel. So a whole lot of support for that Vala. I mean, that is tons of support. I kind of imagine that this is going to be a DPS focused Tyrande, especially with Breakwood, because I feel like Breakwood's more of a damage player than the healer. But Yrel also has some potential utility, whether it's something like the Hand of Freedom to give that extra movement speed, the root cleanses. There's no real root cleanses. Could be the slow cleanse. Let's see. And we got Stukov. And then Chromie, the last pick here for Albatox. So there you go. There's your final look at the draft here as we get into game number 1 on Dragonshire. Chromie, another hero, just like that Junkrat, that's able to provide a lot of zoning and poke damage over these shrines. So we'll be back in just a moment. All right, here we go. On the left, it's going to be ReGen. We've got Flyest Raven on the Falstad, Aragonus on the Johanna, Albatox there on the Chromie. We got Splash playing Brightwing and Ultanian going to be on that Dahaka. And off to the right, Error 404. Hopefully not tonight. Hopefully not tonight. We got Breakwood playing Tyrande. Mercy on the Stukov. Fun's going to be on that Vala. I'm going to go with Rhett. Could be R-E-T. I'm assuming it's Rhett. Going to be playing the Blaze. And Pepper on the Yrel. Did I have those correct? Did they change on me? I think they did. They sure did. We'll just put those pop-ups back up again. There you go. All right, so taking a look at those level 1 talents, those are available for you. So Lunar Flare going to be the pick for Tyrande, and is that reactive? It is reactive. Ballista Spores for Stukov. So big silence coming out. Chromie going to get the phase shift from Brightwing, so she's going to stay alive, but holy cow, that was close. Ping's calling out for Vala. I don't know if those were pings saying, hey, Vala, you could have gotten that kill if you had just stuck it out another moment, or if those pings are saying, hey, look at all that damage you did, Vala. Juking the stun there. Chromie just off to the side. Blaze in the mid lane here, trying to fend off both the Dahaka and Falstad, but Yrel just letting the minions come in close. And we saw a little bit of this kind of in the later game in our last match, where we are farmers, letting those minions come to them so that it was a more defendable location. And especially in the early game, Yrel may not have quite the clear ability that we see out of a Dahaka, but Dahaka's going to come in from behind, looking for the kill onto Vala. They get it, looking for one more onto Tyrande. And absolutely ruthless, getting 2 kills here, make it a 3rd in just a moment. ReGen starting really strong, making use of their globals to get a little bit of an early lead. And they do pick up that bottom shrine. Top shrine, though, this is a little bit harder. Between Dahaka and Yrel, like, this is a slugfest. So Yrel's going to pick it up, jump over the wall there, pick up that XP. But bot lane is where it's at right now. The Siege Camp going to get a little bit of value. Johanna meeting up with Blaze on the way down, slowing him down, preventing that rotation. Now, top, they've got the Bruiser Camp, but Abatak's able to make it away with just the tiniest little bit of health. Dahaka's going to go onto the point here, as he's got that vision. He can see that they're down here on the point. They don't know, by the way, they don't know that that time trap is there, right? So just showing onto the vision so you can see, they have no idea. And Chromie getting the vision there. Both teams have a little bit of extra vision. They're Pepper trying to get away, but not in time. Getting caught by that drag, and then with the Brightwing and Falstad, able to get that kill. So 4 kills to none so far here in favor of ReGen with this Bruiser Camp. They're going to be able to push up all of the wall, maybe get that second tower here, especially with a drag. Falstad going to try to gather the Dragonite, but Mercy here to prevent that. Blaze falling low on mana, has to be a little bit careful. He can't hang out there too long. But phase shift coming in into the bottom lane, get the polymorph out onto Vala. Can they get this with the Dragon's Breath? Fun's barely able to make it away, but Tyrande not so lucky, as Vala now gonna have to go back. Yrel taking that top shrine, and level 7 is here for ReGen, so slight advantage for at least a few moments. Still about half of a level to go for Error 404. And really, at this point, they're getting a lot of value. Like, they don't need the Dragonite if they can continue to get structure value. Almost, not quite half of the bottom fort taken out for ReGen, and Yrel and this is exactly what I was trying to get at earlier, right? Is that there's, like, it's just ring around the rosy. You've got 2 heroes that can heal themselves pretty decently, but that phase shift is going to give Dahaka the advantage and push Yrel off the point. But that gives bottom lane a little bit of value now over to Error 404. Not quite as much as ReGen has against them, but getting a little bit. They've got that 1 tower down pretty significantly. Catching the Vala here. Silence coming out, trying to keep her alive. Temporal Loop going out. Vala, nice big heal between that Tyrande and Stukov. Pretty much the full health bar of Vala in the time of that Temporal Loop. Yrel's going to be able to pick up the top again, so a little bit more ring around the rosy as the kill going out onto Stukov. Big Lunar Flare getting the stun and splash. Brightwing taken out. Vala looking for more, trying to get the Dahaka. The Hungering Arrow doing a lot of damage, but not enough to finish the kill. Blaze going to get that stun out onto Johanna, but that Iron Skin giving the Unstoppable just enough to keep that Lunar Flare from taking her out. And Vala says, hey, haven't we met before? And that's going to be the first Dragon Knight going over to Error. There it is. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. Didn't even get to level 10. Error 404. Pretty much just Error 404 in my brain right there. All right, Mighty Gust. Mercy going into the corner has the body block from Johanna, and that's going to be a dead Stukov. Temporal Loop coming out onto Vala, but Albatox in danger. The punt coming out as well. Dahaka shoved so far away, but Chromie, Brightwing going to go down as well. And they're not going to be able to get the Johanna here, I don't think. The stun slowing her down for a bit, but just not enough. Let's take a look at these talents. What do we have? Is it the Owls that are dropping the damage? No. It's not Blaze, right? I guess it could be the Flame Stream showing as reduced damage. Well, a huge double stun there between that Rain of Vengeance and the Lunar Flare, but no significant follow-up. Almost had the slow on onto Johanna, but not quite. Burrow out trying to get the bunker coming down now as Blaze able to make it out, but Vala's going to take out Falstad from above. Yrel up in the top lane. So they basically just won an uneven fight against them. Getting that kill out onto the Falstad. Quick rotation down onto the bottom Bruiser camp here. Keeping in mind, that's going to give them 20 armor when they complete this. Well, 20 spell armor when they're standing in it. Stun and Splash. Exactly. Although Splash is the name of the player. Brightwing, the little fairy dragon there. Johanna coming in now, has Chromie as well. Temporal Loop is available, so she can set up that rewind. Has her time trap right in the middle there, so never mind. Creating a new one. And with that Bruiser camp gone, it's still 2 versus 4 here, so Phase Shift is coming out. Johanna's going to be fine for a moment. Brightwing, though, did get the stun. Here comes Temporal Loop. Breakwood's going to go into the bunker, so she's able to make it out. Falstad with that Mighty Gust now in a bit of a dangerous place. Going to be able to use that barrel whirl over the wall. And no deaths. That bunker absolutely clutch, giving Breakwood the opportunity to dodge the Temporal Loop. Oh, what a time trap. Look at that. Look at that. Jet Propulsion interrupted. No stun for you, says Chromie. Yrel did come down, jump over that wall, and try to get an advantage, but now Bruiser Camp going into the top lane is at least going to be able to take out this healing well. And that's, I mean, it's not a critical loss, but it's definitely going to be felt, right? Yrel wants that health and mana if she's going to be facing off against Dahaka. And Falstad's coming up just to get a little bit of extra damage up here. He's got the ability to barrel roll away as long as he's careful. Doesn't have that righteous hammer to smack him into a wall or something. And continuing down in the bottom lane. Looking for this bottom fort. Siege Camp coming in for the 404s. Blaze going in. Did not hit that stun. Temporal Loop's coming out. He's got Unstoppable, but didn't. Yep, it was just a little bit too early. Bunker came out, though, for the protection, and also the 25 armor. Yrel's still top, though. Great drag, and the Mighty Gust pushing everybody, and the Blessed Shield coming out as well, stunning him under the towers. Stukov's going to go down. Yrel may be able to get that Dragon Knight, though. That would be at least a consolation prize, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. The Polymorph going out, but they're not there quickly enough, so the Dragon is going to get picked up by Yrel. And again, I mean, it's a consolation prize. They don't have the Stukov, so they're down a player. Makes it a little bit harder for them to do much with it. But what they can do is just take it to the other lane and get value. Blaze, though, holy cow. And that's the real downside sometimes with Blaze, is if you throw out that Jet Propulsion and you don't land it, it can be really tough. Because now you've pretty well just exposed yourself, and you don't have your biggest cooldown. A lot of abilities used here. Temporal Loop used on Vala, and it's really just the 2 versus 3 now for as Falstad's going to get that kill onto Vala and Tyrande. So both of the 2 gone, taken out by the fast rotation of the globals. And while the Dragon Knight was able to take out this top fort, and that is going to be valuable for Yrel. We talked earlier about this healing well. Well, Yrel took out the whole thing, including the fort. So that makes it a little bit more difficult for Dahaka, but he can always just leave and come back. Ural doesn't have that luxury. And it's a good trade. I mean, ReGen is able to take the bottom fort, and that is a far more valuable fort when you're considering, you know, whether the balance between the structures here. Top lane is very difficult. You've got this death bridge here that you don't want to be stuck on, especially not with the stun chain combo potential from Error 404 or the Mighty Gust shield combo we just saw from ReGen. So top lane is really just about securing the dragon, not necessarily winning. Whereas bottom lane has the most camps. You've got both of the siege camps here, one on either side. You've got the bruiser camp in the bottom lane, and they'll all go through there. So it's oftentimes that's your win condition. That's the lane that you want to secure and get the victory from. But both teams are level 16, looking for siege camps, looking for any advantage they can get. But again, I mean, ReGen's got all of the globals here, so they can kind of create fights wherever they want to. Error 404 has to plan a lot more for their fights, and they have to go quickly. So speaking of that, there's Dahaka coming in from above, getting a quick drag out onto Blaze, and that's it. Bless Shield coming in, Mighty Gust pushing him into the corner, the Lunar Flare and the knockback from Ural. But ultimately, only one hero can make it out there, and it's not going to be Tyrande. She, again, we talked about it last match. Some of these heroes that have limited escape potential. Tyrande, again, another one of those that just doesn't have it. She's got that Lunar Flare, and if that hits, excellent. You're probably okay. And if it doesn't, then you're pretty much dead. Dragon Knight coming up soon here. Oh, you know what? I turned the game sound down. Hold on, let me turn that back up. You guys probably haven't been able to hear the game at all. Let me know if that's too loud. Temporal Loop coming out once again onto Vala. Is going to have the spell armor there from her Gloom, as Urel's going to get punted away. And this is the first Dragon Knight here for ReGen of this game so far. Falstad in there, going to give Dahaka the opportunity to push up in the top lane for their team, also get that XP. Jet Propulsion coming out, has the Polymorph as well, Unstoppable used. Make sure that Blaze can get out. Vala once again punted away, and Vala is really the biggest threat to the Dragon Knight. Everything else is there, it's going to do something, but Vala is the one that puts out all that damage. And just checking in, Urel does have percent damage, so with the armor reduction can do quite a bit if she can get onto these heroes now. And really the question is, now that this dragon's out, can they secure the kill? They do get the one stun, Jet Propulsion used there, but just missed thanks to the pause, the Mighty Gust pause. They did rotate in to get that Tyrande here, but I was really interested in what was happening up here. Jet Propulsion this time used to get out. And ReGen coming up on level 20, looking to maybe find themselves this bottom keep. Extra reach on that drag as well. We saw how far that went out there trying to get the Vala, but not quite able to reach. It's I don't know if it's Dagonus. Yeah, it's a controversial topic tonight. Knockback there from Urel, pushing the Johanna into the wall. Let's take a look at these level 20s, by the way. So Wind Tunnel was absolutely amazing in the last round, so could be. The Mighty Gusts have been really strong here too. Oh, there you go. There's a drag coming out. There's the Wind Tunnel. Might actually... Yeah, no, never mind. I was going to say it might actually save Vala, but she's coming back either way. So quick kill onto the Vala, and we talked earlier about how important Vala is. She's the primary damage on this team, and she's gone. Big drag coming out onto Urel? Yeah. And that's it for now. Silence used. Stukov, really they're just trying to zone as much. They do have a lot of beef between that Blaze and ultimately Stukov. Bless Shield coming out. It's just a short stun though. Drag used. this time we get the jet propulsion hits onto Dahaka, but he's going to have the phase shift coming in. And keep in mind too, if you're a Dahaka, you have to be careful about when you use that burrow. If you burrow too soon, that phase shift doesn't land and uses the 10-second, resets that phase shift 10 seconds. So you really want to make sure you get that heal before you burrow, if you can. Obviously, that's not always the case. And again, global value there is going to give the Dragon Knight over to ReGen. We saw the stall attempt from Toronto with that owl from far away, hitting the dragon just a moment after capture. And with the siege camp in the bottom lane and having taken out that keep, ReGen recognizing that everybody on the side of Error 404 is up and available, looking to take the keep, see if they can't find themselves a kill onto somebody. Unstoppable used there by Urel, but she's got that back every 10 seconds or so. They're level 20s now, so she can use that pretty frequently. This time Vala able to get just far enough away that she's not going to get caught. That said, Falstad, though, gets caught by the jet propulsion. Big stun, the fort nearly helping to take out the Falstad, but an absolutely massive heal. And Blessed Shield coming in. They're looking for the Stukov. Here comes Wind Tunnel into that corner. Just a little bit off, so they're not able to secure those kills. But definitely putting the pause on, at least for a moment. So Chromie coming out. Now Chromie, the one character here that doesn't have any real escape potential. She's got the timeout, but getting that kill onto Urel is huge for the team. Temporal Loop coming in, this time on Stukov. He shoves away the Johanna, but it's not enough. Gonna get slowed, and that's a double kill here so far for ReGen. And it looks like they're, oh man, they may not be able to continue if that Dahaka falls. And the burrow just there, keeping Dahaka alive. Phase shift used to give him a large boost of extra healing, but they're not really pushing in here at this point, and they're losing time. Stukov and Urel both down for a fair bit of time, though, trying to get these catapults up, and you can see Vala even taking those attacks. Jet propulsion used, got the bunker, but Vala can't get into the bunker, and the wind tunnel just keeping Vala out. Blaze now in danger, does use that spell armor, has a big jet propulsion, but I don't think Rhett is gonna make it out. Another 2 kills for ReGen as, you know, Falstad just getting turned to stone for a moment. And with 4 catapults rather, no, that's 3 catapults. A lot of pressure on that core, and that's going to go over game number 1 to ReGen. Very, very strong showing from ReGen. That was, they were ready to go right out of the beginning of the game and really played that well. I really nothing to say other than that. Error 404 had a lot of potential opportunities. They did get a couple of quick kills there, but they just couldn't quite get their comp online, or in some cases, you know, protect the Vala quite enough. Both the Stukov and the Toronto were the highest deaths on the team, and that, I mean, in some ways, kind of expected. But with that double support with the Urel, with the Blaze, like having 4 deaths on the Vala is really tough because you need that Vala on the map. And I mean, 92k did the most damage of anybody in the game by a significant amount, 50%. Needed to be able to carry that team, and they just couldn't quite get the kills out of it. So we'll see how they adjust going into game number 2. And what we get for our next map. Then again, this is a best of 3 series, so we'll have to find out whether they want the first pick, whether they want the map pick. Or if they want donuts. I don't know. So there you go. All right, let's see. I'm going to give us a 2-minute clip here for a quick water break. We'll go with this one. We'll go with the Hanover one. And then once we get our game ready, we'll, or sooner, we'll come back. So 2 minutes, we'll be back. Or if they do give us a map sooner and they're ready to go, then we'll come back sooner. Be back in just a moment.
When I was young, I lived a life of recklessness. In my selfishness, I inflicted pain and hurt those I cared for. I have learned many lessons in my struggles with doubt and fear. Balance and harmony are not easily attained. They must be fought for! But on my journey, I have learned another lesson. You do not have to fight alone.
Let's do this! Woohoo!
Both games, both times, so glorious to come back right into the map. Like it's just wonderful. It's just great, so great, love it. Actually, you know what? Let me show you the maps real quick, because we do have that. So, and then we'll come back to that. So we have the first game. There was Dragon Chart. It was picked and won by ReGen. That was their map selection. The bans, Error 404. They banned out Garden of Terror and Sky Temple. ReGen banned out Brax's Holdout and Alterac Pass. And let's get back right into that draft. Okay, there we go. So Cursed Hollows. So this was a map that ReGen played really well against We Are Farmers. Gonna see Anubrak and Zagara banned out. So again, continuing the trends from last game. And I think that the Anubrak early is pretty important. Dahaka, I love that ban. We've seen Dahaka every game, at least on this channel tonight. So get rid of him. I mean, he's clearly doing a lot of work. Going right back into that Blaze. Let's see. There we go. Now, Blaze, they switched it up on us last game, so I'm not going to move Blaze until we know whether or not that's going to be Pepper or Rhett playing Blaze this time. Could be either way, though. Could be a soloing, could be a tank. If it's Rhett playing it, the main thing I think that we've got to see is those jet propulsions they got to hit every time, and the timing it's a little hard, right? Because there's a little bit of a windup, so got to be able to hit those stuns to be able to set up the plays for your team. But we've seen Zeratul banned all night. With Dahaka being taken off the table, Zeratul's right back into the game, along with the Brightwing. So this time going into Uther, given a little bit more of the armor potential, and has a little bit of a weakness against spread damage, being able to keep up with multiple heroes taking damage at the same time. So we'll see if that affects the draft of ReGen at all. And I'm not sure, I'm sure somebody in chat knows. Does Uther's armor stack with Cassia's avoidance armor? Because it stacks with Garrosh's armor, and that's a trade armor. So I think it might. Lucio and Hog are getting banned out there. So I'm looking forward to you guys' answer to that question. Because if it works like Garrosh, then of course it would. Okay, I already updated that. All right, coming out from ReGen, their last Cursed Hollow, they had Anubarak, Greymane, Falstad, Arthas, and Stukov. So they are not even remotely close to that draft, as we get Mei and Hanzo. Uther also has that Divine Shield, so that's a long 3 seconds of time of invulnerability. Could also be a Divine Storm, be a really solid potential double stun follow-up. And yeah, okay, so that's what we're going to see. We're going to see the Uther. Is Uther the main tank? I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate. Is Stukov the main tank? I don't know. Well, there you go. There's your Unstoppable with Leoric there. So, okay, so we are getting some swaps around. So, Rhett is taking Uther. So, I think that makes Uther the main tank. We got Mercy playing the Stukov. Buns. Pepper is going to be on Blaze, so this is an offlane Blaze now, I think. Take it over there. Okay. Did we change anything over here? No. All right, we're good. All set up. All right, game number 2 between ReGen and Error 404 in the finals of Storm Division qualifiers for Season 3. Let's get this going. All right. Starting on the right, we've got Error 404. Breakwood's going to be on the Cassia. We got Mercy playing Stukov. Blaze going to be played by Pepper. Vala going to be played by Funds, and Rhett on Uther. And for ReGen, we've got Aragonis going to be playing Mei. Flyest Raven on the Zeratul. Albatox on the Hanzo. Splash on Brightwing once again. And Ultanian on that Leoric. All right, so going into the Holy Light for Uther. Stukov and Cassie coming up into the top. Excuse me. And getting a little bit of poke damage onto the wall with her javelins. But with 2 heroes in each lane, Arrow 404 may be able to get a little bit of wall damage in either of these lanes, depending on just what the response is. But that leaves 3v1 in the middle. And Blaze can kind of stall that out, so he's not, you know, super worried. And keep in mind here, Mei does have the snow blind, so she's able to blind out that Vala. She can blind out the Cassia to reduce a little bit of damage from there as well. So there's definitely some damage reduction potential on the side of ReGen, along with Leoric having the Unstoppable to be able to stop some of those CC chains with Blaze, with Vala, Uther. And even though they're on the other side here, ReGen kind of lucking out with the placement of the first tribute. It's going to be in the bottom lane. That gives their siege potential a little bit more in value here because of this right here, going into that top lane. And the only global we've got on the map is the Brightwing. So, yep, there it is right there, coming into the Zeratul. So that's not going to be up for at least a little while. Brightwing will be down here for when that tribute comes up. Level 4 here for both teams, as Mei and Hanzo trying to get some push in with the Bruiser Camp here and using the Sonic Arrow just to make sure that nobody's able to come up from above. But with a delayed rotation now, Vala coming up with the Uther. And you can tell right there, right? Like Zeratul and Brightwing saying, hey, by the way, these people just left here, so you need to pull back. And that's why we saw both of those heroes come back. Up in the top, though, check this out. Look at how much damage Cassia and Stukov have been able to do to this front wall. Already taking both towers down and the wall. Zeratul in a bit of danger here as Vala chasing him down. Vala's a strong hero. She's... what did we get? What flavor of Vala? So she's going into that hungering arrow, and with the cooldown resets, that's a lot of burst potential out of Vala, especially with the additional bounces and all that good stuff. And it looks like maybe 404 might be just electing to poke and stall this out. Take care of that siege camp top, maybe even get a little bit more damage up, but they're also getting pressure in the bottom lane. I mean, they're able to clear the lane, push up into that wall. And right now, it's looking very strong for Error 404. Phase shift being used there, so Leo's able to get nice and healthy again. Zeratul up in the top, dealing with the Stukov and Cassia, as Leoric draining Uther and trying to zone as much as possible while also getting that lane soak. Get that level 7 up for them. Blaze doing the same in the middle. But at least for the moment, it looks like Splash may be able to get the collect the tribute. So one tribute for ReGen, jet propulsion used there by Pepper to get away from the Leoric Mei combo. And I mean, Zeratul is able to kind of kill these minions fairly quickly, but also dies fairly quickly if he's not careful. So phase shift coming in. We've got Leoric coming in with the rotation as well. There's no entomb, so they're just trying to keep up onto the Stukov, and with the Zeratul being able to blink in, they're able to get that kill. That's first blood, 4.5 minutes into this game. Second tribute coming up, and this is on the defensive side for Arrow 404. So a little bit easier for them to defend than some of the other positions. Boss is coming up though, and I mean, we've only seen one tribute so far. This is the second one, so this could be a little bit early to try to go for a boss. ReGen's got the Hanzo scatter arrows to be able to do that. 404's got Vala that does a pretty significant amount of damage, especially with the vault resets. I don't think she's got the... Yeah, I think that was 7 that you get the extra damage to minions, monsters, and all that. So I don't think she has that. But ReGen now getting really their first structure damage, getting those 2 towers down. Okay, I guess they got mid. Leoric trying to stay alive, has that life drain. That expires though, and Cassia still getting that damage in. Has level 10 now, so Cassia had a bit of danger. If she sticks around for too long there, that could have been a dead Cassia taking the tower shots. Dragon Arrow coming in, and Uther in a ton of danger. Has to use the Divine Shield. May going in to try to body block, but gets stunned. And I mean, that's 2 ultimates used for ReGen 1 for Error 404. So far, though, top lane, while under constant pressure, Leoric has been able to kind of defend this. But, I mean, how long does this last? It's a little bit of poke each round from the minions. But it looks like Stukov and Cassie are going to head out. Maybe not. Are they going to boss? Are they going to camps? Nobody knows what they're going to do. They're going to go to camps. And this, just like the last tribute, this one, though, is on the side of ReGen. So it's a little bit more easily defended by them. Uther's going to get the stun onto Mei. Vala going with that double Hungering Arrow. Only hit the one. Just a little bit off on that second one. Blaze going to try to stall that out. Does get the stall onto Hanzo, so good stall. Zeratul having to blink away again from Stukov in this case with his Pustule. And, I mean, the big positive here for Leoric is that he can clear these minions, right? Neil Peasants gives him the capability of clearing those quickly. Blaze in a ton of danger, though. Blizzard going to come down, has the bunker, and is going to be able to get away there. That 25 armor and the better positioning, able to allow Blaze to sneak under that fort. Bottom lane, though, is going to fall. That's going to be the first fort of the game, and it's going over to Error 404. May see the second fort of the game, this time for ReGen here, but maybe not, maybe not. The rotation coming in on their way to the tribute here. May having to icing out, was in a very dangerous place there as Dragon Arrow used defensively just to make sure that May can get out. ReGen probably giving this up. It's 2 tributes to 1. Error 404 can pick this up. ReGen pushing up in the top lane, doesn't want to really stall that out. Put themselves at risk, lose a hero, any of that good stuff. And Zeratul, again, I mentioned it in the first draft there, you know, having a really quality Zeratul on your team makes it very difficult. Not quite as slippery maybe as Samuro can be, but still a very slippery hero and can be very offensive and disgusting to have to deal with later in the game. Both teams going to start working on their boss. Leoric in range, really just keeping vision out here, though. Looks like they'll be pretty close. But the structure health, that definitely favors Error 404. Big stun coming out onto Leoric, sitting at about half health. Oh, the Ice Wall coming in is going to get onto 2, but the Jet Propulsion is going to prevent any follow-up as the Void Prison coming out as well. Blizzard is not going to land. And now Zeratul kind of in danger here. Doesn't have a lot of health, has to pull away. And Tomb used their Jet Propulsion's going to miss, and Vala's going to go down. Taken out there by the Leoric. Zeratul all but out of this fight, though. So unless they can find a super low target, which, I mean, they're right there. There's the Blaze. Both of them going to fall, though, as the boss going to start working on Keep here. As both of them get a fort, but this is a really aggressive positioning here. May's gonna pay for it. Might be able to get the Stukov, though, and they do. So now that aggressive positioning is maybe turning in favor. Stukov, or rather Leoric going down, less of an issue because he'll be back soon. But if Hanzo falls here, that would be absolutely devastating for ReGen. Zeratul will be back in a few moments, but it's not. I mean, they're looking for the stall, but oh, they do just barely get it. Leoric just 7 seconds away, so he'll be back very soon. But here comes Vala, able to put out loads of damage onto that Hanzo. They cannot quite finish the kill. Leoric's coming back, but he gets stunned, has that ball lightning all over the place, and throws out the Entomb. Is going to isolate that Cassia and help them secure that extra kill. And the lucky bounce onto the Uther from that one scatter arrow Vala gonna fall, isolated by the blizzard. Uther's going down, Ice Wall coming out, and this is gonna be ReGen picking up the first curse of this game, and maybe none too soon. I mean, this lane is gonna give them an absolutely just crazy amount of XP. But with those kills, they're gonna head down into the bottom lane, see what they can get out of this keep. They already took down the one tower and the wall. Can they get all the way through this keep before Error 404 is able to pick up their big damage heroes in Cassia and Vala? Leoric able to Wraith walk through, has that damage reduction. It's 50%. That's a significant amount of damage to pull off of the team, even from a Blaze. Bunker might be enough. Void Prison comes out, kind of anti-synergy with the Entomb, but they do pull that down. Big Divine Shield out onto the Vala here, but the Dragon's Arrow is going to put the brakes on that. Leoric in danger, and I don't know. He might get caught. Not enough. They just can't quite get that kill. The level advantage might have been enough to secure that. Uther gets caught in the ice wall, and they're going to isolate that Vala and take her out once again, turning onto the Uther, isolated by the blizzard. Getting that double kill. Blaze is coming up in just a few seconds, so this keep is almost certainly gone. They're going to just take some tower shots for it. May's going to take those and then use that cryo freeze. That 20 armor penalty, you know, it stinks, but if you've got an unstoppable and a free heal, then it doesn't stink quite so much. Leoric Wraith walking up saying, hey, I've got Entomb. I can still come get you. And suddenly this map opened way up for ReGen, taking down everything in the mid lane, finishing that keep in the bottom lane, and getting the top fort. But as this game goes on, if Error 404 is able to get a couple of kills in a team fight here and pick up the tribute, giving them that curse, that can be a game-ending curse. So this is not in the bag for ReGen by any means. And could they do that? Absolutely. Jet propulsion. They've got the potential for additional follow-up with Stukov, with his silence rather. And Tomb being used there just to make sure that they can't do exactly that. You could see the Blaze was looking for that jet propulsion, couldn't quite get there. The blizzard isolating, or the ice wall rather, isolating, making sure that they couldn't do that. And it looks like they want to fight. There is a camp at the core. It's not quite on the core, but a camp plus 2 catapults is a big problem. Jet propulsion out onto Mei, looking for the silence. There it is. And the longer this goes, the worse it is for Error 404, unless they can secure some heavy kills here. Phase shift coming out onto Leoric, gonna keep him alive, but Blaze gonna fall, cannot get the bunker down this time. Flailing swipe used by Stukov, trying to keep everybody away from the team, but Stukov gets caught by the Void Prison into the blizzard, and Divine Shield coming out, Ultanian getting very low, and Tomb, however, going out onto Leoric is gonna isolate that Stukov as well. May gonna fall in all of this, but is that enough? And it's not looking very good as Error 404 losing their 4th hero, and soon to be their 5th hero-ish. Maybe. There you go. And it looks like ReGen's done it. On to the core and securing themselves the victory in a 2-0 over Arrow 404. In a moment. Coming right up. Just after this. There we go. All right, there you go. 2-0 victory for ReGen over Arrow 404. Looking really, really strong in that. All told, 4 games for them tonight between We Are Farmers and Arrow 404. And looking really strong. So looking like a really good competitor for the Storm Division. Obviously, some other teams have already qualified. And I don't know how, they compared. So looks like it's going to be a fun time for Storm Division this season if the quality of the content is anything like what we've seen here tonight. So let's see if we can get a quick interview with somebody from ReGen. So give me a moment for that. Hey, there we go.
Hello.
All right, so we have got Albatox from ReGen. Congratulations. That was a great set. You guys played really well tonight. How's the team feeling after that?
Oh, we're feeling great.
So this is overall a new roster for the ReGen squad. Give me a little bit of insight into what went into developing this team, and you know, how long have you guys been playing together? Anything like that to give us a little preview of what we can expect out of Storm Division for you guys.
I don't know too much about how the team came together. You know, ReGen was hosting tryouts. I guess we all played and got picked, and then our recent roster we've been playing for about a month, a little over a month. But yeah, we're relatively new, and oof, I don't know what else to say.
No, listen, that's fine. I know a little bit. Like, I know Murda, you know, put out a call and got people together so that you know, you all could participate in the team. I didn't know how much was individuals coming together, or if, like, you know, some of you had been playing together for a good long time or what have you. So, you know, I was just kind of curious about that. But it sounds like largely that you guys are individuals that have just kind of started playing together. And so it seemed like, for the most part, that the communication was really solid. You guys had 4 games tonight overall. The first game was honestly, it looked like maybe you guys were going to lose that game, and then you got that lucky pick out onto Blaze under the one immortal. But everything else tonight has been super clean. So, like, how's the team coming together? How are you guys practicing tons? Do you just happen to fit this naturally? Like, how's it all working out?
Yeah, recently we just got into a flow of like what we liked picking, how we want to decide to play maps, and I mean, we've been sticking to it. We haven't played too much of Battlefield, so we're a little rusty on that map. We weren't sure exactly our game plan was, but like, we managed to pull it out in the late game. Yeah, we're kind of just picking what we like to pick, and just like focusing on exploiting the enemy team's weaknesses as much as we can.
Sure. Okay.
Without, you know, putting out any trade secrets per se.
Right. And so, you know, we saw a lot of Dahaka tonight. Ultimately, 3 out of 4 games he was played, and banned in the 4th. Is there any part, like, is Dahaka like mainstream hero, like top priority hero, or just kind of working out that way?
Yeah, I think the recent buffs really kicked him into the meta. I mean, he was always considered just because he has a lot of global presence with his dig. But like, the recent buffs really just pushed him over the edge, and I think he's a really strong pick right now. Sure.
And is there anything else that you guys as a team are doing now? Any other events or anything like that? Whether it's a, you know, one-off or anything else that is, you know, a really big focus?
Right now we've like really been focusing on the qualifiers, mostly just because we really want to secure that place in Storm Division. But we are trying to sign up for that Brawl for Bryce on Saturday. Unfortunately, some people can't make it, so we're just trying to find a good 5 to put in for that. Other than that, we've just been focused on qualifiers mostly. Sure.
Well, and of course, that Brawl for Bryce is on a qualifier day, if I remember correctly. So now that you've qualified, right? Because unless I'm mistaken, and I apologize because I did not do a bunch of following up to make sure if there were any changes, but I believe that if you win, you qualify, right? There's no additional fanfare, right?
We're already secured a place.
Yeah, so you're in, so you don't have to worry about any conflicting times with that. So that's fantastic that you can participate in that, or hopefully if you can get that 5. So that's awesome. Listen, congratulations again. What can we expect to see from ReGen? Not necessarily strat wise, but anything you know, from you guys for the for Storm Division here going forward. What should we expect from you?
I mean, a lot of the people on our team don't really have like the biggest names out there. None of them are like CCL players, so you know, maybe we're going into it maybe a little bit of the underdogs, but I think the one thing is to look out is just that we're a pretty strong team, and like I think if you don't take it seriously, we're gonna hit like full sweep sets off you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you guys did really well tonight. I thought you played fantastic. And, you know, just like I said at the end of game one, like you always got to stick it out. You just have to look for that opportunity. And that's exactly what you guys did. And Blaze kind of served it up to you on a silver platter, so to speak. And you got that W and carried it through the rest of the night. So really fantastic play. I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, the rest of your guys' season and just how you perform and grow as a team. Any shout outs before we wrap up?
Shout out to the team. We qualified. We did it. We don't have to play this weekend. You guys can do whatever you want now. Shout out to the org for, you know, putting together a team. We couldn't have done it without you, Murda. Shout out to you, the casters, and NGS for casting these games. It's always a pleasure, like going over the replays and seeing like the hype the casters bring to the games. But yeah, thank you guys.
Awesome. Listen, good luck with the season here, which starts in a few weeks, and enjoy some time off from having to do the qualifiers and get some practice in. All that good stuff.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right, so that's going to be it for us, wrapping it up for the Storm Division qualifier tonight. ReGen with a 2-0 victory, securing themselves a spot in Storm Division. Really fantastic play from, you know, Error 404 and from We Are Farmers, from Can't Censorship. Like, we had some fantastic games tonight. Really exciting to see everybody, and I hope that we'll see some more of them in the next qualifier. So everybody, have a wonderful evening. Thanks for joining us here. Murda or Key, if you've got somebody that you want to raid, we'll get that going here. So have a wonderful night, everybody, and we'll see you again here soon. And by the way, just before I completely bail, I should just, you know, do a shout out for myself. Again, I'm Arrow. If you enjoyed the cast tonight, please stop by my channel, Arrow RG, twitch.tv/ArrowRG for Arrow ReGen, RG for ReGen. And, you know, throw me a follow over there. I do some casting, do some other games and stuff like that. So would appreciate you stopping by to give a follow there. Have a wonderful night, everybody, and catch you later.